In this video, I'm going to be talking about 5 updates that ERLC needs to add to the game. If you enjoy or if you agree with me, let me know in the comments and let me know if I missed anything that you think should be added. Let's get straight into it. Drop a like and subscribe. Okay, so the first one that I want to talk about is AI traffic. This has been a spoken about thing in ERLC for quite a while. There are quite a lot of people that want to see AI traffic get added to ERLC for a variety of reasons. Now, we sort of already have a few integrations of AI. I guess it's not really AI, it's more NPC traffic. We do have some NPC vehicles and I guess players around the map. We've got Eddie at the chop shop, we've got the people in the car dealership, and then we also have the cars that you can randomly find across the map, such as, is the one over here? Yeah, there's 2 over here right now. There's no one else in my server. These 2 cars are both cars that you can purchase that aren't actually owned by anyone, which is pretty cool. We do have cars that spawn in the map, and then we also have private server callouts as well, which is quite a popular thing. Now, I think when people talk about AI or NPC cars driving around, I'm not really sure what most people mean. Do they mean having actual cars at intersections and stuff that take turns and stuff? Whilst that would be really cool, I think that would be very excessive, and I don't think that would ever actually get added, although they definitely do need some more NPC stuff around the map. In this server right now by myself, it's pretty empty. There's not much going on. We do have these cars, as I said, that spawn in, but maybe sort of how we have the DOT vehicles that sometimes spawn alongside the road, more stuff like that, more random things that can spawn in the map instead of actual automatically driving vehicles around the map, although I guess that would be cool. Maybe though, instead of vehicles, there could be people. What if there was just pedestrians that kind of walked around on the sidewalks maybe a little bit? That could be cool. Maybe they cross the road every now and then. Maybe they increase the spawn rate of these vehicles. All of these things are definitely possible things, but I think actual vehicles driving around, as we've seen with other games that tried this, it doesn't work too well, and I think given the size of the map, it's probably fine with a full server. Let's say maybe they can increase the server size, who knows. Let me know your thoughts on that one in the comments, but let's move on to the next one, which is a house update. Yes, the houses in ERLC have been the same for longer than I can even remember. These houses have had slight updates along the way. They have had a revamp. I think they had a fresh revamp a few years ago, but they are pretty boring, pretty bland, and quite useless. I need to just buy this house to show you. And also, there are 200 Robux Game Pass, which in my opinion is extremely excessive. Whilst I do think these houses are okay for one reason, because we have the garage outside where you can actually spawn owned vehicles, which most people don't know that, but that is cool. Other than that, houses are useless. And is that one feature really worth 200 Robux? I guess you can make your own conclusion, but yeah, the interiors definitely just need a bit of a refresh. They're quite dated and they look quite old and basic as well, plus they need more variation. There's literally 3 house types and that is it. You can see they all look the same, they're just different colors, so they definitely need a house update, and also possibly apartments in the town center. We don't need massive skyscrapers, just one of the buildings can maybe add an interior to it. One of the taller buildings can have an interior, and maybe they can add some kind of apartments there, which actually wouldn't be too difficult to add, because all it is basically an extra house, but instead of building a house, they just build an interior to one of the buildings, and it doesn't really matter what building it is. It could be this building, it could probably not that building. I think they just hate this building because they never update it. It could be one of these ones. Maybe this one here would be pretty cool to put apartments in. Lots of room near the civilian spawn and stuff. Maybe this one down here because it's got a parking garage under it. Who knows? Loads of ideas that they could do if they really wanted to. The next thing I want to talk about is new robberies. So we have recently had bank update, which completely changed how you rob the bank, and also probably a lot of people didn't like the update because it made the bank robbery so difficult. It is so hard to rob the bank, especially if you do it all by yourself. Other than that, the other robberies have been the same for quite a while. The cash register robberies could definitely do with a refresh. Maybe you have to pick the locks or something instead of just shooting it, because that's quite boring. We have the jewelry store robbery, which again is kind of boring. This has had an update not too long ago with the new glass cutter, which I guess is pretty cool. I mean, Again, this is quite easy, to be honest. I don't really know how people fail on this. Like, it's kind of easy because it's not challenging. And then don't even get me started on the ATM robberies. These ATM robberies have been in the game for longer than I think I've even been playing ERLC for, which is a very, very long time. And once you do this so many times, it just gets really, really, really easy to do. I'll just do this right now. Too easy. 4,425. There needs to be a bit more to that. I think it would make the game quite a bit better, especially for criminals, to have more variation with stuff they can rob. Not only do they need updates to current robberies, maybe new robberies entirely. That is what this whole point is about. Maybe we can rob something else. We have vehicle heist, which was added quite recently, but something else would be very, very cool. Maybe there's some kind of barn heist. I don't know what you're going to do at a barn, but maybe a criminal base, something to do with that. There's loads and loads of ideas. They could do like a fuel station robbery or something. I don't know. An idea I just thought of right now is a way to not pay for your fuel. So let's say you can refuel here like you normally would. There's an option to just drive off and not pay for it. It makes you a criminal, makes you wanted, maybe 1 or 2 stars, and it alerts the police that you've stole some gas and not paid for it. Just things like that can A, get you a bit of money. I guess in that case it's getting you something for free, and B is something that criminals can do extra, which is quite cool. Now for this next one, we need to join on to the fire department team, and it is to do with ambulances. I've spoke about this quite a few times before, but new ambulance interiors, where this ambulance should be fine, even if they don't update the current ambulances, and maybe they just add new ambulances entirely. I don't know, but we have car interiors now in ERLC, and if you were to ask me what is one vehicle that needs an interior the most in ERLC, I would have said the ambulance. Way before I would have said any kind of civilian car or even police car. The ambulance is probably the most required one for an interior. It will be the interior that gets used the most, and is also the most important interior. So crazy to me that we don't already have ambulance interiors. We definitely need them, and it would definitely be very, very cool to get them. And to be honest, I would suspect they are coming soon. We do have car interiors now in ERLC, so it would really surprise me if they don't at least have plans to add interiors to the ambulances at some point, or at least just add one new ambulance that does have an interior. That would be good. Now the next one is kind of niche. However, in private servers, we have the major server callout spawner. So if we go to this, we can see there's only 8, and I think the last one that was added was like chemical spill or something like that, and gas station explosion, I'm pretty sure. They really need to add more to this. These have just kind of been forgotten about. When they were added, it was really, really cool. I think the plane crash especially was very, very cool. They need more. Maybe the helicopter crash, maybe the police helicopter that flies around, maybe at like a 1 in 10 chance, or not even that, like a 1 in 20 chance maybe, it can crash out of the sky. Maybe it can have some kind of animation where it falls down and crashes into the ground. That would be really, really awesome to see them do. Or just anything. Maybe a parking garage collapse, or maybe just more car crashes. Maybe a car crashes and hangs over the edge of the parking lot or something. Maybe a car that's crashed into the side of a building. There are so many. It is literally never ending how many things they could add to the major server callouts. They spawn in public servers on random occasions. You can spawn them in private servers whenever you want, and they do make for some really, really good role plays, but only having 8 of them does get very boring when they are all exactly the same. So everybody, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you agree with some of the stuff I've said today, or do you have some different opinions? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. Drop a like, subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.